I'm Mark Chavez, Communications Director at the Philanthropy Roundtable. Today I'm joined for a few minutes by Nicole Jarbo, the new Director of the K through 12 education programs here at the Roundtable. So you come to the Roundtable after having some significant experience in teaching. You were a Teach for America Corps member, a first grade teacher at a KIPP school in New Orleans, and then also a ninth grade teacher before that. What is that experience in education? What's that able to teach you and that you're able to bring to this position here at the Roundtable?
That's a good question. I think the most important lesson I've learned is that our education system is really broken. And there are pockets of excellence, but they're so far and few between. I had the opportunity to work at 3 different schools that all had 3 different stories, but mostly my experience was with kids in low-income communities. But it's not just that system that's broken. It's actually our whole system. And so I think the most important thing I can bring with me to this work with the Roundtable is an understanding of what it's like to be in the trenches on the ground doing this work and bringing it up to the 30,000 foot level and talking to donors who've really impacted the ed reform space in the last 20 years.
Now you've also launched a company called Teacher Gym, which helps train teachers in effective classroom management practices. Can you tell us a little bit about that project?
Yeah, so when I was working in New Orleans, I had the opportunity to work with a magnificent network named Collegiate Academies, and they're known for having this really robust leadership and professional development for their teachers. Included in that is a lot of practice on management practices for the classroom. So are you executing correctly? Can you manage the kids? Are they learning? And so we had these great practices, but I realized all of my colleagues in the city actually didn't have an opportunity to practice that themselves, which is pretty unfair knowing that there's so many kids who need really great teachers. So there were a few programs in the city, but they came with a hefty price tag. So I decided to start Teacher Gym, which was actually a low-cost program that got teachers in front of really great coaches, let them practice, and get really great feedback.
So coming into this new position, what are some of the goals or tasks you would like to accomplish?
I've had the opportunity to come into a program that's very well recognized and has done really great things and given really strong information and content to donors and experts alike. And so I want to continue to do what we do well, but I also want to make sure that we're continuing to reach out to donors who might want to give, but they're not ready for that deep dive yet. Everything's very new to them. They want to be part of this larger movement, but they're not sure how. So I want to make sure that they get the individual attention and guidance that they need so that they can start making strategic investments in this movement.
So what advice would you give to those donors or philanthropists that are interested in getting involved and helping support K-12 education, but may not be sure about what to do?
I think that I would first ask donors to think about their legacy and what legacy do they want to leave with their philanthropy? What story do they want to tell about themselves and who they are? And I think that after you have step 1 down, you look to excellent programs and practitioners across the country. And like I said, there aren't many, but they are out there. So looking at those programs, looking at those experts, and really thinking about how those two will converge. Which programs, which experts, which practitioners are actually going to help you tell your story, when you're gone or while you're still here, who's going to help you most impact your legacy.
One last question for you.
Sure.
Little known fact, you were the goalie for the women's varsity team when you attended UC Berkeley, correct?
That is correct.
So what did that teach you anything or get you prepared for the nonprofit sector or for working in education?
Yeah, well, another little known fact is that I spent most of that time on the bench. But I think what that taught me was about the importance of team. And, it might be trite and cliche, but there is no I in team. And I think what's important about this work is that I work with a bunch of people, not just at the Roundtable, but with donors who believe in that sentiment as well. And they know that we're going to fix these problems, we're going to make an impact together and not apart. And so learning those lessons at a really young age is, I think, really going to benefit the work I do here because I'm around a lot of team players, which is incredible because not one person is going to fix this.
All right. Well, welcome to the Roundtable.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you here and working with you. And look forward to seeing what you're able to get accomplished.
Thanks.